Well, I just got back from looking around downstairs like an idiot because as much as I would love to do my documentary final, I'm afraid I just can't find my laptop. This is the projector that I was watching my final cut on, and as you can see, the projector is here. The cord that plugs into the laptop is here. Here's a Einstein biography. That's pretty fun. But no laptop. A typewriter. My girlfriend gave this to me. There's a note. Sorry, I'm kind of panicking right now. No toothbrush. You guys remember something being here? It looks like it's gonna be a dark night of editing. That's chapstick, by the way. It's not a cigarette. So I opened up the book. I don't know how to find my house. I can't scratch myself. I don't have privacy. I don't have any more walls. I don't want to be seen. I wish I was alone.
Ever since then, year after year, Hamas has been using the Gaza Strip as a base for terror activities. Material that has been shipped into the Gaza Strip for humanitarian purposes has been repurposed by Hamas for military means. Cement shipped in for buildings has been used to build terror tunnels. Pipes shipped in to build sewage systems has been repurposed to make rocket tubes. This is what Hamas is. This is what Hamas does. And it is evil. It is evil. And anybody who attempts to contextualize or justify this is making an ass of themselves.
You don't punish civilian populations.
Like indiscriminately shooting tens of thousands of rockets decade after decade into Israel, like what Hamas does?
The scale of Israeli violence.
Like selling some of the humanitarian food back to the population, digging up tunnels of water pipes and using them to fashion rockets.
Just want to make sure I heard.
All the international aid comes in and building tunnels and tunnels with cement.
Stephen, did you say that Hamas is turning cookies into missiles?
My understanding is the reason for the restricting of sugar-based products was that the first generation, I think they were called Qassam rockets, were built in really crude shops using combinations of fertilizer and sugars.
Israeli policy is people in Gaza have no right to go in and out of the cage that they've been placed into. They're under complete siege. Their economy is in shambles because Israel does not allow them to trade with the outside world. They can't have an airport because Israel doesn't feel like they are entitled to an airport, can't have a seaport. When you look at the rates of unemployment, over 50% in Gaza at the time. And if those people who are trapped in this cage come a little too close to the border, then we open fire at them and kill them, even when they're unarmed, because that's border policy.
On Gaza, the UN's Humanitarian Affairs Office has said that 15 paramedics, civil defense, and a UN worker were killed, in their words, one by one by the IDF. They have dug bodies up, they said, in the shallow grave that have been gathered up, and also vehicles in the sand. Have you got any assessment of what might have happened, and given the potential use of American weapons, is there any assessment of whether or not this complied with international law?
Well, I can tell you that for too long, Hamas has abused civilian infrastructure, cynically using it to shield themselves. Hamas's actions have caused humanitarians to be caught in the crossfire. The use of civilians or civilian objects to shield or impede military operations is itself a violation of international humanitarian law. And of course, we expect all parties on the ground to comply with international humanitarian law.
But this is specifically a question on any, it's a question about accounting and accountability, given that may have been the use of US weapons. So it's a question about the State Department rather than Hamas. Is there any action?
Well, every single thing that is happening in Gaza is happening because of Hamas. Every single dynamic. I'll say again, I've said it, I think, in every briefing. All of this could stop in a moment if Hamas returned all the hostages and the hostage bodies they are still holding and put down its weapons. There is one entity that could stop it for everyone in a moment, and that is Hamas.
For no other reason than the people of Palestinians, in every way possible, they are locked into Gaza, and they had to have a permit to come and go. So the bottom line for a lot of this terrible persecution of Palestinians that actually started in 1923 is that they're Palestinians. So while we have millions and millions of homeless people in the United States who are mentally disabled in the wars, old people who don't get enough Social Security, just since Trump got in, him and Congress have given over $11 billion in military weaponry to the Israeli military. So they can have F-35s, which are airplanes that cost $170 million to drop 2,000-pound bombs on disarmed Palestinians in a prison camp that's 6 miles by 25 miles in size. Let's take a break.